Yeah, Mike Scott, Chicago. The only way to keep calm is trouble wars have a serene mind. You only grow when you're alone. So I'm sitting here by myself, all by myself, but I'm happy when alone. So I don't describe to the belief that when you by yourself, you're in bad company. No, when I'm by myself, I'm happy when alone. You what's popular is not right, what's right is not popular. We done went from drag queens to woman kings. You know, that's how the world is. So whether the world like a loose garment, you know what I'm saying? Mike Scott, Chicago. It's cool to be a square. The slowly is the best lane. And I'm gonna give a shout out to some of the guys that follow me on Instagram, the martial art guys, you know, 6th degree guys, the guys that got some degrees in the martial arts, because it's about action, you know. And they're teaching these kids how to use mind and body. I'm gonna give them a Zen meditation, only they can know this. And my grand uncle was Clarence Turner, you know, grand uncle. He was 7th degree Dan, Tai Chi master, and also a Shriner. So we got some Masons that's, you know, that I'm friends with. You know, so you gotta think. A mind, it said when mind is realized, one need not worry about body. When mind and body, because the one is free. You know, so Mike Scott, Chicago, cool to be a square. You know, be a master of your emotions. I must control my emotions, and my emotions will control me. You know, that's what the teachings of the martial arts is about. Control you, because nowadays the men act like women, and women act like men. Men they don't know how to control it, and that's the war. You know, it's inside. It's better be slow-tempered and famous, King Solomon. It's better have self-control and control an army. And everybody want to be famous, but everybody can't control their temper. So it's cool to be a square. You know, wisdom is better than weapons of war. So study, you know, read a lot of books. Not just read many lot of books. I study a lot of religions. Some people think they only can read the Christian Bible. No, you got to read a lot of stuff. I read a lot of stuff. You know, to educate the mind, weaponize your mind, because out here you got to think before you walk out, be prayed and meditate up, get that emotional balance. Take action. The body has to move half an hour, 5 days a week. That's why I don't look like I'm coming up on 64 years old in November. I don't look my age because I take action. I don't care what a billion people smoking cigarettes. I don't smoke cigarettes. So it's cool to be a square. I don't smoke weed. I don't care what they do. I don't even gamble. So Mike Scott, Chicago, pray, meditate, get outdoors, breathe, you know. When the gas strike came on in the 70s, was the gas station open, 20 below zero, I took action. Nowadays, people don't want to work. Everybody want free money. You know, that's why a lazy man stays to bed like Hedges will put, saying he can't go to work because he might be lying on the road. That's what King Solomon said in Proverbs. So I studied King Solomon's, the kings, you know. He had 700 wives, 300 girlfriends, yeah. Richest wives of kings. So happy the man to find wisdom. Clean the wisdom, protect you, love and should guard you. You know, so wisdom, you know, it's about being wise. It ain't about being bad, you know. A fool fun of being bad, a wise man fun of being wise. And we got the Halloween coming up, you know, so Satan he was perfect in beauty and wisdom. And he was the prince of the airways. That's why the airways control these people, you know, they use fear. What is fear? Fear is darkness. Fear is the dark root develop negatives. I've been through the dark, so today I'm living in the light, so I don't live in fear. You know, everybody talking they believe in God. You know, if God came down today, nobody would see him because they'd be on their cell phones, you know. So meditate. You know, there are just merely cattle in clothes who do not study. So I study every day because I do something every day. A man that knows something can't do it resembles a blind man walking down the road with a lamp in his hand. Even though he got the information, he can't do it. See, that's what it said, knowing and doing. Then I'm going to give you the Zen meditation. Zen riddle talks about the spiritual master. You know, and we know the spiritual person can endure insults, ill-treatment, criticism, and not react. Then the spirit be strong like an army. So it's always going to be negativity. That's what Taoists tell you. Yin and yang, negative, positive. Some of the guys from the martial arts that's teaching on the south side know that. See, my uncle, my granduncle, him and Jimmy Jones, they built the martial arts school on the south side. But the Taoism talks about, that's with my blood, the martial arts, and I got family about, you know, so that's what my spirit is. I'm happy. I don't need a crowd. Everybody self-esteem. Sometimes people need to be in a crowd. And when I'm in a crowd, I'm going the wrong way. I don't seek the applause of the world. People self-esteem based on crowds. See, the company you keep will determine the trouble you meet. It's one man to a coffin. Remember that now. It ain't two people to a coffin. One man to a coffin. So you got to think for yourself. If you don't think for you, somebody going to think for you. Mike Scott, Chicago, cool. But that's Zen riddle. The spiritual master saw this woman, beautiful lady. She was going across a muddy pond. And what happened was the master, you know, because he gave up all his desires. He wasn't chasing women, you know. And he picked this lady up and put her across a muddy pond. So he continued on his journey, right? Because it's all about a journey. So he traveled. In town, he saw a student. And the student said, Master, I saw you were 5 miles behind carrying that woman across a muddy pond. The master told the student, are you still carrying her? I left her back there 5 miles away. So let go. Mike Scott, Chicago, Cool the Big Square.